I woke up to the faint buzz of my phone. A few work emails, a grocery app notification, but not a single text from my sister. I stared at the screen for a full minute before muttering, 30 years old, and my own sister forgets. A mom called around noon. Her cheerful voice tried to mask something. Happy birthday, sweetheart. Did Emily call yet? I forced a laugh. Not yet, but I'm sure she's busy. Busy? On your birthday? She said. You two were inseparable as kids. I remember when she baked you that cake with half-burnt candles. Yeah, I said quietly. Those were different times, Mom sighed. Anyway, listen, I got something odd in the mail. A notice from the bank addressed to you. Something about a home loan payment? I frowned. A loan? I haven't taken any loans. That's why I'm confused, Mom said. The envelope mentioned an address in Springdale. Isn't that where Emily bought her house? My chest tightened. Emily's house. Yes, she said slowly. But it says Ryan Carter on it. Maybe a mistake? I'll check, I murmured, ending the call. My pulse quickened as I scrolled through my messages. Nothing from Emily. Just a few old chats once stood out. Hey Ree, can you sign those papers I emailed? It's just a small favor for my promotion. That was months ago. My hand went cold. I'd signed without reading because it was Emily. I called her immediately. She answered on the fourth ring, her voice bright and carefree. Ryan, hey, happy birthday. I was going to call you later, swear. Sure, I said flatly. Quick question. Did you use my name for a loan? There was a pause, then a light laugh. What? Of course not. Why would I do that? Mom got a notice from the bank. Under my name? For your address. Oh, that, she said, tone shifting. Relax. It's just a minor mix-up. Paperwork stuff. You know how banks are? A mix-up with my signature? You're overreacting, she snapped. It's family, Ryan. Don't make it weird. Family? I repeated, my voice rising. You forgot my birthday, and now I find out I'm apparently your co-signer? Don't guilt-trip me, she said sharply. I've been handling everything on my own. I didn't think you'd mind helping. You never do, 'cause I trusted you. I yelled before I could stop myself. Do you realize what happens if you miss a payment? Oh, please. I'm not stupid, she muttered. You always act like you're the responsible one. Newsflash, I can take care of myself. By putting my name on your loan, she went quiet. For a moment, I heard her breathing through the line. Then she said softly, You'll get over it. You always do. The line clicked dead. I stared at my reflection in the dark phone screen, tired eyes, forced calm. My heart pounded, anger mixing with disbelief. I'd covered for her my whole life. When she crashed Dad's car, when she blamed me for the missing money, when she quit college and said I made her feel small. I whispered, Not this time. My phone buzzed again. A text from Mom. Everything okay? Emily said you're upset about something silly. I clenched my jaw. Silly. That's what it always was. My frustration, my disappointment, my feelings always silly. Typed back, Everything's fine, Mom. Just tired. Then I sat in silence, staring at the empty kitchen table. The leftover slice of cake looked pathetic. 30 years old, and I felt 12 again. Invisible, gullible, loyal to the wrong person. The bank notice lay on the counter. I ran my fingers over the raised print of my name. Ryan Carter, it said, the owner of a house he never bought, loan he never took, and a sister who'd forgotten his birthday but remembered his signature. I exhaled, long and heavy. Happy birthday to me, I whispered, and for the first time in my life, I didn't mean it. My phone rang early that morning, an unfamiliar number with the bank's logo flashing on the screen. I hesitated before answering. Hello, this is Ryan Carter, a calm male voice replied. Good morning. Mr. Carter, this is Nathan from First State Bank. I'm calling to confirm a few details about your property loan. I froze. My what? Your home loan, he said. Property located at 126 Springdale Avenue. There's been a mistake. I don't own a house on Springdale. I understand, sir, Nathan said gently. But the documents list your name and signature as cosigner. Are you saying you didn't authorize this? I took a breath. No, I didn't. My sister must have. I stopped myself. Is there a way to verify who submitted those documents? I can't disclose everything, he replied carefully. But I can tell you the digital application originated from a personal IP address matching your sister's file. You might want to review that with her directly. My stomach twisted. So you're saying she forged my consent? I'm saying something isn't consistent, Mr. Carter. You might want to visit the branch. Quietly, if possible. I rubbed my temple. Yeah, thank you. After hanging up, I just sat there, staring at the phone. The truth had weight now. Cold, undeniable. I called Emily immediately. She answered with that same bright tone. Ryan, you again? You worry too much. You put my name on your loan, I said flatly. It's confirmed. My God, she groaned. Nathan called you, didn't he? I told him it's just a technical mix-up. Mix-up doesn't use my signature. Seriously, Ryan? It's not that deep. You always overreact. It's just family paperwork. Stop saying that, I snapped. Family doesn't mean you get to steal my name. Didn't steal anything, she said defensively. You signed those papers months ago. Remember? You didn't even ask what they were. That's not my fault. My throat tightened. You tricked me. Oh, come on. You're making this ugly. I needed help, and you had the credit score. Big deal. You used me. Ryan, she hissed, I pay the bills. Nothing's on you. Stop acting like some victim. Her words hit like ice. Do you even hear yourself? I hear you being dramatic, she snapped. Mom would be ashamed of how you're handling this. Mom doesn't know, I said coldly. She will if you start trouble, Emily shot back. You think anyone will believe you over me? You've always been the sensitive one. I exhaled slowly. I'm done arguing. Fix it, or what? She challenged, or I will. Right, she scoffed. You wouldn't dare. I hung up before I said something I couldn't take back. My hands were shaking so badly the phone almost slipped. At work, Jacob noticed instantly. You look like you just saw a ghost, he said, pulling a chair beside my desk. My sister, I muttered. She used my name for a house loan, he blinked. You're kidding, I wish. What did she say? That it's family business. Jacob frowned. Classic guilt line. Don't blow up yet. Get the evidence first. Emails, dates, everything. You need proof, not rage. I nodded slowly. Proof, not rage, I repeated. Exactly, he said. You go emotional. She wins. Stay calm. Let her hang herself with her own lies. His words stuck in my head all day. I kept repeating them. Proof, not rage. That night, I opened my laptop and began searching for old emails, old messages. Each click felt like peeling a bandage off a wound. I didn't know it was still bleeding. She didn't just forget my birthday. She used my trust like currency, but not this time. This time, I'd make sure truth had a paper trail. Asterisk, I spent half the night digging through my old emails, searching for anything that could explain how my name ended up on her mortgage. When I found the message thread, my chest went tight. Dear Ms. Carter, the real estate agent had written. Thank you for confirming that your brother Ryan Carter has agreed to co-sign willingly. I stared at that line for a long time. Willingly. I could almost hear Emily's voice twisting that word into something convenient. The next email was from her. Replying cheerfully, Ryan's happy to help. He trusts me completely. I whispered under my breath. Yeah, I did. My stomach turned as I remembered that night months ago. Dinner at her apartment. Pasta and cheap wine. Just sign this for me, she'd said back then, sliding the papers across the table. It's for my promotion review, nothing serious. I didn't even glance at the pages. I signed because she was my sister. Now, that memory made me sick. I called her again that morning. She answered instantly this time. Ryan, she sighed, please tell me you're not still obsessing over this. Obsessing? I repeated. You forged my name, Emily. Shh. Oh my God, you make it sound criminal. It is criminal, I said. You lied to a bank and to me. You're overreacting, she snapped. Mark says you always play the victim, Mark. I scoffed. You're taking financial advice from a guy who's been unemployed for a year? He's looking for opportunities, she shot back. He understands how hard I've worked for everything. You don't? Hard work? I laughed bitterly. You used me like a credit card. Stop twisting everything. She yelled. You signed those papers yourself? 'Cause you told me it was for work. Well, technically, buying a house is work, she said, sarcasm dripping from her voice. I closed my eyes, gripping the phone tighter. You're unbelievable, she exhaled sharply. You know what? I don't need this. I have enough stress already. Mom said you've been acting weird lately. Maybe you should talk to someone. My jaw locked. You told Mom? I didn't tell her everything, she said, voice suddenly innocent. Just that you've been jealous? You know, because I'm finally doing well. Jealous? I nearly shouted. You think I'm jealous of debt and lies? Ryan, she said sweetly, I get it. You've always felt like the responsible one. But I'm not the same little sister you used to protect. I could handle my own life. I almost laughed. You're handling my credit, my name, my reputation. That's not independence, Emily. That's fraud. She went quiet for a moment, then said softly, You'll forgive me. You always do. She hung up. By evening, Mom called. Her tone was hesitant, almost rehearsed. Ryan, honey, Emily said. You're upset about something silly again? I sighed. She used my name for a loan, Mom. It's not silly. Oh, come on, Mom said gently. Emily wouldn't do that. She told me you gave permission. She lied, I said firmly. I have the proof. Ryan, she said in that careful, soft voice. You know how you get sometimes. Maybe you misunderstood. She said you signed the documents willingly. I felt something break inside me. She's manipulating you, Mom. Just like when we were kids, remember the money that disappeared from your purse? Remember who took the blame? Ryan, she whispered. That was years ago. And she never changed, I said bitterly. You just refused to see it. Don't talk about your sister that way, Mom said sharply for once. She's doing her best. Her best, I echoed. Her best just destroyed my credit. Enough, Mom snapped. You're letting anger cloud your judgment. Emily said you're holding grudges. Maybe try talking calmly. Calmly, I asked quietly. She forged my signature, and you want calm? I just don't want the two of you fighting again, Mom said, her voice breaking slightly. Family is all we have left. For a moment, I didn't answer. Then I said softly, sometimes family is the one that hurts you most. There was silence on the line. Ryan, she whispered. Please don't make this ugly. It already is, I said, and hung up that night. I sat on the couch staring at my laptop screen, Emily's fake emails glowing like scars. Every word felt like an echo of the past. Every lie she told Mom was another childhood, its memory repeating itself, me taking the blame. Her walking away smiling, only this time, I wasn't 12, and I wasn't taking the blame. Asterisk, I hadn't heard from Mom in a week. No texts, no calls, just silence. It was worse than anger. It was like I'd stopped existing. Maybe she's just ... processing, Jacob said, when I told him over the phone. Processing what? Emily's lies? I muttered, rubbing my eyes. She said I forged her signature, Jacob. People actually believe her. Now, rumors fade, man. Give it time. Time. I laughed bitterly. She's throwing parties in a house I'm paying for. Jacob sighed. Then do something. Get proof. Don't drown in this. His words lingered after the call ended. The apartment felt smaller every day, quiet, suffocating, like even the walls were ashamed of me. I barely ate. I barely slept. Every bite of food turned to dust in my mouth. Every hour of sleep shattered by flashes of Emily's smile when she used to call me her rock. That night, I found myself driving aimlessly, headlights cutting through the dark like thoughts I couldn't silence. The steering wheel felt heavy in my hands. I didn't even realize where I was going until the familiar curve of a cul-de-sac appeared. Emily's street, her house glowed like a photograph, strings of golden lights. People laughing in the yard, glasses raised. My name was on that mortgage, but I was the ghost outside the frame. I parked across the street and killed the engine. The sound of laughter carried through the night. I rolled down my window slightly, just enough to hear, "Emily, this place is amazing." Someone shouted, "You're killing it." She laughed, that perfect, confident laugh she always used when she was lying. "Yeah," she said, lifting her champagne glass. "I've worked hard for it." My chest tightened. My fingers dug into the steering wheel until my knuckles turned white. I whispered to myself, "Worked hard? You stole it." Her boyfriend Mark slid an arm around her. "You deserve it, babe. You're unstoppable. Unstoppable." The word echoed like a slap. I leaned back, staring at the house, the lights, the smiles, the life that should have been built on truth. My reflection stared back from the windshield, pale and tired. I didn't recognize myself anymore. For a second, I thought about stepping out, marching up there, telling everyone what she'd done. But then what? They'd see a bitter brother, a jealous failure. "Not tonight," I muttered. "Not like this." I started the car but didn't move. My heart was racing, breath shallow. I thought about Mom, about how easily she'd stopped calling. Maybe Emily told her I'd lost control. Maybe she believed it. My phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. "Ryan, please stop dragging family into your mess. It's embarrassing." No name, no need for one. I stared at the message until the screen dimmed. The cold truth hit me. Mom had chosen her silence. And Emily had written the story. I shut my eyes and let the sounds of her laughter fade under the hum of the engine. My mind whispered the same thing over and over. This isn't over, because it couldn't be. I couldn't let the only person who still believed in lies keep living off mine. I put the car in gear, hands trembling, eyes wet. "You took everything," I whispered, voice cracking. "But you're not keeping my name." As I drove away, the lights from her house blurred in the rearview mirror, golden, perfect, untouchable. They looked almost holy. But I knew better. They were built on rot. Nathan met me at a small coffee shop near the bank. No suits, no badges, just two men with too much to lose. He slid a folder across the table. "Ryan, this is between us, all right?" My hand shook slightly as I opened it. Lines of data, IP addresses, timestamps, and her name Emily Carter stared back at me. This was done from her account?" I asked quietly. Nathan nodded. "Her home Wi-Fi, her device." "I double-checked before calling you. Had she forged the e-signature using your ID from the system?" I swallowed hard, eyes burning. "So it's official. She stole my name." "It's fraud," Nathan said flatly. "If you go forward, the bank will have to file a criminal report. It'll ruin her credit, maybe her job." I leaned back, the words sinking like cold stones in my stomach. "And if I don't," he sighed, "then you're liable for a loan you didn't take." Silence stretched between us, heavy and suffocating. I stared at the coffee I hadn't touched. She knew exactly what she was doing. Nathan's voice softened. "I'm sorry, man. I really am." I nodded slowly. "Thanks for telling me the truth." After he left, I sat there for another hour, staring out the window at the gray afternoon sky. I felt something I hadn't felt in months. Clarity. Not anger, not heartbreak. Just truth, sharp and clean. I called Jacob next. "You were right," I said the moment he picked up. "I have proof." He didn't even ask how. "What are you going to do?" "I'm hiring a lawyer. No yelling, no drama, just consequences." He paused. "That's not revenge, Ryan. That's survival." "Yeah," I whispered. "Maybe it's both." 2 days later, I met Grace Miller. Her office smelled like fresh paper and confidence. She greeted me with a firm handshake and kind eyes that didn't flinch at broken stories. "Mr. Carter?" she said. Sitting across from me, Nathan from the bank sent me the documents. "I've reviewed everything. You have a strong case." I exhaled slowly. I don't want to destroy her life. I just want mine back. Grace smiled faintly. "Justice doesn't always destroy. Sometimes it resets." I liked that. "Then let's reset." She opened a file on her laptop. "We'll start by freezing the loan account and submitting an affidavit to remove your name. After that, We'll move toward fraud verification. We won't have to confront her directly. The evidence will speak. Good, I said. I've done enough talking. Grace studied me for a moment. You don't strike me as someone who enjoys conflict. I don't, I admitted. But I'm done letting people mistake silence for weakness. She nodded approvingly. That's a healthy start. For weeks, we built quietly emails, affidavits, screenshots. Grace was precise.com, unstoppable. I respected that. Every night when doubt crept in, I'd hear her voice in my head. Justice resets. One night, Mom called. It startled me. Ryan, she said softly. Emily's been upset. She says the bank is investigating her. Is that true? I gripped the phone tighter. It is. They should have done it months ago. She hesitated. She says you're trying to ruin her. I closed my eyes. No, Mom. I'm trying to fix what she broke. I warned her. Just her voice cracked. I wish you two could fix it as family. Family doesn't steal your future, Mom. Silence. Then she whispered, maybe I didn't raise you to write. Don't, I said gently. You did. Emily just chose wrong. I'm choosing differently. When the call ended, I sat in the dark for a long time. A reflection stared back from the window, tired. Yes, but no longer hollow. The next morning, Grace called. The affidavit was accepted. The loans frozen under investigation. I smiled faintly. That means she knows now, doesn't she? She will soon, Grace said. Be ready for backlash. I've been ready since the night she laughed on my birthday. Grace was quiet for a moment. Then let's finish this with dignity. Dignity, I repeated, almost to myself. Yeah, I like that. When I hung up, the sun was rising, pale gold spilling over my desk. I felt light for the first time in months. Not because Emily was falling, but because I finally stopped. Asterisk, it started with a single envelope, plain white and heavy with consequences. When I tore it open, my hands didn't shake this time, not like before. The word foreclosure sat in bold at the top, and beneath it, Emily's address. A month had passed since the investigation began. I hadn't heard from her, not once. Then my phone rang. Her name lit up the screen, Emily. I let it ring twice before answering Ryan. Her voice broke immediately. Please, I need you. I stayed silent. They're taking the house, she sobbed. The bank froze my accounts. They said it's fraud, but it's not. I didn't mean for this to happen. I exhaled slowly. Didn't mean to. You forged my name, Emily. You're my brother, she cried. I was desperate. You always helped me. Why are you doing this to me? I'm not doing anything, I said quietly. I'm just not saving you this time. She sniffled. You don't understand? Mark left me. Mom's not speaking to me. Everyone thinks I'm some kind of criminal. Emily, I said, my tone flat, you are. Her breath hitched. You're cruel. No, I whispered. You were cruel the night you laughed on my birthday while using my name for your dream house. There was silence on the line, the kind that feels like gravity. I didn't think it would go this far, she murmured. That's the problem, I said. You never think past yourself. Ryan, please, she begged. If you could just talk to the bank, tell them I didn't. I'm not lying for you again. Her voice rose, sharp and panicked. You want me to lose everything? Is that what you want? I hesitated, staring at the foreclosure notice. I didn't want to lose everything either, Emily, but you made sure I did. You think this makes you better than me? She snapped suddenly. You're punishing me to feel powerful. I closed my eyes, tired. No, I just stopped protecting you. The line went dead for a moment, then came her whisper, fragile, small. Mom told me she knows everything now. She said she can't look at me. She shouldn't have had to, I said. She's crying all the time, Emily said bitterly. You broke her heart. I didn't, I said softly. You did. I just stopped pretending it didn't happen. Her breathing grew shaky. You always think you're the hero, don't you? I almost laughed. No, Emily. Heroes save people. I'm just surviving. She fell silent again, and faintly, I never thought you'd turn against me.
Ow.
I never thought you'd steal from me, I said. But here we are. Ryan, don't, I interrupted. You need to face this. You made your choices. Now, they're choosing you back. She started crying again, deep, raw sobs that used to make me cave as a kid. But now they sounded hollow, like echoes of an old manipulation that finally stopped working. When she finally spoke again, her voice trembled. "So that's it? You're just going to let me drown?" I looked out the window, the city glowing under the fading sun. "No," I said quietly. "You built the storm. I'm just walking away from it." The call ended. I sat there for a while, listening to the silence she'd always filled with noise. My phone buzzed again, this time a text from Mom. "Mom, Ryan, I'm sorry. I should have believed you." I stared at it for a long time before replying. "It's okay, Mom. You know now. That's enough." She sent back a single heart emoji, small, hesitant, but it meant more than any apology. Later that night, Jacob called. "Heard the bank moved forward." "Yeah," I said. "They're taking the house." He whistled softly. "Karma works slow, but she's thorough." "Yeah," I murmured, "she is." He paused. "You okay?" "I think so," I said, looking at the foreclosure notice one last time before folding it shut. For the first time, I actually am. The quiet didn't hurt anymore. It felt earned, like breathing after drowning. For the first time in my life, silence was finally on my side. "Ryan, please," Emily's voice cracked through the receiver. "Can't we talk? Just once?" I leaned back in my chair, eyes on the sunlight spilling across my desk. "Talk about what, Emily? The part where you stole my identity, or the part where you pretended it never happened?" "I made a mistake." She snapped. "You act like I'm some criminal." "You are a criminal," I said quietly. "The bank, your company, they all know." Her silence hit harder than any insult. I could almost hear her breathing through guilt. "Mom's been distant," she whispered. "She won't even answer my calls. Everyone's turned against me." "You told them, didn't you?" "No," I said. "The truth told them." She sniffled. "I posted those photos for us, trying to show we're still family." "Family?" I laughed under my breath. "Family doesn't ruin someone's future and call it love." Her voice broke. "You don't understand." I panicked. "I thought you'd bounce back." "You'd always do. That's what you counted on, wasn't it?" I said. "That I'd forgive you, cover for you, and disappear quietly." I needed a win," she whispered. "I was tired of always being second." I rubbed my temples. "You could have asked me for help. Would you have said yes?" She challenged. "Yes," I said without hesitation. "Because you're my sister." "Or you were." A long pause filled the air. Then she said softly, "They fired me, Ryan. HR found the bank report. They said it violated the ethics clause. I'm done." I exhaled slowly. "I'm sorry it ended like this." "You sound happy," she hissed. "Like you wanted this." I didn't want this," I said. "But you earned it." Her sobs came through the phone, raw and broken. For a moment, I almost softened, till I remembered the sleepless nights. The humiliation, the weight of her betrayal. "I just wish," she said between breaths, "we could go back. To when we were kids, when you didn't hate me." "I don't hate you, Emily," I said quietly. "I just can't trust you." She muttered something, but the words faded. The call ended. I sat there for a long time, staring at the silent phone. My inbox pinged a message from Mom. "Mom, she's been calling me nonstop. What do you want me to do?" Do what feels right. Just don't lie for her again." Later that week, Mom stopped by. She looked older, tired. "She's lost everything," she said. "House, job, friends. Even Mark moved out." "I didn't want her to suffer," I said. "I just wanted her to stop lying. She's paying for it now," Mom said softly. "You don't have to carry it anymore." "I'm not," I said. "Not anymore." Work became my refuge. My promotion came through new title, new responsibilities, clean slate. I paid off my debts, rebuilt my credit, even started saving again. People began treating me differently, not with pity, but respect. One evening, as I walked home, I saw Emily's old profile pop up on my feed. Her latest post was a smiling selfie captioned, "Starting over. Family is forever." Comments were silent, no likes, no support. Just an empty echo of what used to be her world. I stared at the photo for a while, remembering the girl who once brought cake into my room when I was grounded, giggling like we shared a secret against the world. That version of her, the one who cared without agenda, was gone. I whispered to myself, karma doesn't knock twice. For the first time in years, I didn't feel anger or sorrow. Just peace. Asterisk. I didn't plan anything that day. No calls, no cake, no forced smiles. Just me, my small apartment, and the quiet hum of the ceiling fan. It was strange. Peace had a sound. The morning sunlight filtered through the blinds as my phone buzzed once. A message. I already knew who it was before checking. Emily. Happy birthday. I'm sorry. I stared at those two sentences for what felt like hours. My thumb hovered over the keyboard. I typed, deleted, then locked the screen. A knock at the door broke the silence. It was Jacob, holding a paper bag. Thought you'd skip breakfast again, he said. I gave a small smile. You know me too well. He sat across from me, pulling out 2 coffees. So, big day. Just another Tuesday, I muttered. Sure, he said, smirking. You say that every year. I took a sip, the warmth steadying me. You ever wonder if forgiveness is overrated? Jacob tilted his head. No, but I think silence sometimes says more than forgiveness ever could. I exhaled. She texted. He didn't ask who. He already knew. What did she say? Happy birthday. I'm sorry. Are you? He asked quietly. I shook my head. No, not really. Just done. For a moment, neither of us spoke. The city noises outside faded behind the hum of quiet acceptance. Jacob leaned back. You did good, Ryan. You didn't destroy her. You just stopped letting her destroy you. His words lingered like truth I didn't know I needed. I used to think peace came after revenge, I said softly. Turns out, peace is revenge. He chuckled. Write that down. That's wisdom right there. After he left, I walked to the balcony. The wind was cool, carrying faint sounds of laughter from nearby apartments. People celebrating, living. For once, I didn't feel left out. I wasn't chasing anyone's approval, not even hers. My phone buzzed again. Another message from Emily. Please, can we talk? Just once? I read it twice, then set the phone face down. I wasn't angry. I just didn't need to reopen a wound that had already scarred. The afternoon sun shifted into gold, painting everything with warmth. I sat by the window with my coffee, thinking about that night years ago, the papers she had me sign, the silence that followed, the lies that broke us. All of it felt like someone else's life now. Mom had called last week. She'd said, Emily's trying to change. I'd simply replied, so am I. That was enough. As dusk settled, I lit a single candle, not for celebration, just ritual. I didn't need an audience anymore. I whispered to the empty room, Happy birthday, Ryan. For the first time in a long time, I actually meant it. I opened my journal. Something Grace, my lawyer, once told me to keep. Write the truth, she'd said. It'll remind you who you are. So I wrote, Peace doesn't come when they apologize. It comes when you stop needing them to. When I looked up again, the candle's flame flickered gently, reflecting off the glass. It felt symbolic, fragile, but steady. I smiled. The phone lit up one more time, Emily again. This time I didn't even check. I let it buzz until it went silent. Silence had become my language of strength. Outside, the stars blinked faintly over the city. I leaned back, feeling the calm settle into my bones. There was no bitterness, no revenge, no hatred, just release. I closed my eyes and whispered again, Happy birthday. This time I didn't need anyone else to say it back.